Surprise! Thought you were going to see Randy as the host of this show? Nuh-uh, not today. It is me! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Survivor 47 pre-show for episode 4. We are delighted to have you here. It's a big night. We are very excited. I am Jack. With me is Avery, as always, hosting the pre-show, and Abraham is now back. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
Vacation was great. I was on the beach. I wasn't on Fiji. I was close. I could almost feel them. I was on the beach and it was kind of deadly in Hawaii, but it's good to be back. Got a chance to catch up on the episode. I see things are still just as wild as ever on Survivor. So it was good checking out the episode today. Ready for the pre-show. Can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight. But it's fun to be back, man. Welcome. Hey, welcome back. It's good to see everybody too.
It's good to be here. We're excited to have you all here. Past couple episodes have been really exciting. We've had some truly timeless moments that are defining the new era here. This season's been off to a great start. We've had a lot of great characters. We've had a lot of great moments. We've already had some pretty nice tribal dynamics. And thank you, Ali, for shouting us out as the iconic trio. Yeah, I guess, as the first timer on the pre-show, I guess, what's y'all's experience with Survivor 47 so far? You're enjoying it? You're not liking it? You think it's bad? You think it's the most revolutionary season ever? Like, what are your thoughts so far as we head into this late pre-merge kind of section of the game?
You know, looking at it now, especially catching up on it, because I kind of was out of it for that week. But just looking at the episode today and watching how the players are playing, it's interesting to see how they kind of wove in your interviews to what's really happening. And we see all these little side stories happening. But everybody that's on these seasons now have seen the other seasons. And it's funny to be like, I didn't think somebody was going to lie to me. Why is somebody lying? What? That's what they're supposed to be doing. And we on Survivor. You're trying to get to the end. So it's kind of interesting to see how that dynamics kind of develop. Rome is definitely off the chain, but it's always one person want to go out there and fish. So I give him credit for actually using the fishing gear, but he's still not sharing. So he's true to his bio. I'm gonna say that he is true to his bio for not sharing.
I agree with that. He's going crazy out there, which is it's funny. It's funny when you're watching a season, there's I swear there's always that one person that really sticks out as they're really going crazy out there, and he is definitely that person this season. I'm loving it so far. It has been a wild ride and it's only been a few weeks, so I'm very excited for tonight, especially after Asia going. I was like, whoa. Was not at all expecting that. If y'all saw the pre-show last week, I made this insane prediction that Gabe was going home, and I was very much wrong. So, but I like to make some very out there predictions, but hopefully my prediction tonight is right. It's just been insane. It's crazy.
It's crazy that it's crazy that the people that you thought was going to go home early in this episodes, they're not even in as a threat anymore. They can be there as long as they want now.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful television when one episode you expect it's going to be the downfall of someone that's supposed to go home, like Andy or Rome, and then it completely flips on its head and it goes to Asia. Yeah. We had a similar ripple effect on Stockwatch last week, where by the way, come see Stockwatch, where Asia was our number one contender for 2 weeks in a row, and then she got eliminated. So clearly our credibility is definitely taking a hit with that. But yeah, expectations have been flipped on its head. We're going to get into the fan things for a second, but I definitely want to talk about some of the sneak peeks that we have for this episode. The episode, I'm pretty sure the name's something about blood. I don't know. It's something about blood. We'll get to
blood
that.
On your hands or something. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. And I think it's going to be great. First sneak peek we get is the girls on Gata really solidifying kind of as a trio. We get a nice little moment where they're like, oh yeah, well, God, I forget the name of what they called their alliance, but they were hanging out, having a good time. We run this tribe. Rachel trusts Annika. Annika trusts Rachel. They both trust Sierra. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that Sierra is maybe more in line with the girls over Andy than we originally thought?
I think that Sierra is 1000% with Sam wherever he goes. I do not, I think she's with the girls, like with the girls,
Mhm.
just to have that, to be set, to be in a place where she's on both sides, which is really good. Um, and I think she's just trying to weigh her options. I'm sure she will do next time they go to tribal council, but I definitely think that she's with Sam, I more than the girls, and I think that she's just trying to be in that position where she doesn't have to worry about her name being written down.
Look, Survivor to me is always played in two phases: before you merge and after you merge. I think everything that you do now is just get to merge and get to merge with at least one person that you feel comfortable is going to get you through those that merge and connecting with one other person. So if you get to the merge and you get to the next tribes and you got four solid people, you got a good chance of being in the last group to try to win Survivor. But there's a lot of stuff going on over there. It's a lot of things. To me, Andy is the star. He the star because
Mhm.
Andy be like, hey, I can help anybody out. I'm not giving you my shot in the dark to prove that I'm loyal to you. That's not gonna happen. I'll say, hey, if you don't want me to play it, I won't play it. I'll tell you that, but I'm not gonna give it to you. And Andy, I think, played the best game last episode. He says, look, I'm just gonna sit back and I'm just gonna see how they really react with each other. Because the person that's kind of quiet and kind of sit back and just watch, you kind of figure out what's going on. And he survived already. Nobody's even looking at Andy. Andy has kind of fell into the background. Now that challenge was kind of different for him, but he kind of fell into the background. So it's going to be interesting tonight to see how it all kind of plays out. But I do like Sue. Sue said, "I'm gonna get you."
Oh yeah, let's get to
Yeah.
that. Another sneak peek. We got an extra. I think we saw 3 sneak peeks. We see Sue doing 2 major things. Number one, it's pretty obvious that she's either bleeding or she's looking for the idol, and there's some kind of fake blood kind of component going on, which is a nice callback from I think it was 42, like that opening challenge. That was pretty cool. The other thing we see in this sneak peek is that she is really, really blatantly lying about her age. I think she's like 58, 59, and she's saying that
59.
she's 45 to Kyle. What do we think of that? What do we think of Sue's gameplay trying to downplay how old she really is?
I think it's like interesting. Like, I mean, I understand like being older than everyone, but I don't know that you saying you're 45 is really gonna change much. Like, you're still like a good bit older than everyone to the
Yeah.
point where I feel like it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
Older than everybody. Sue is older than me, so she's a good bit older than everybody. So older than me at this age. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So um, one, I like Sue. I think Sue is a great addition to it. If you go back and look at that challenge, Sue dove in that water like she was a champ. But
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
lying for the sake of lying messes your game up because you're
Yeah.
really lying for no reason. 45 might be a little stretch. So if you'd have said 48, 49, I probably would have went with it. But 45, nah, not even on the island. I'm not gonna believe that one. So sometimes you got to watch out about just lying. Sometimes you don't have to stop lying. Just stop trying to fake out everybody and mess around and fake yourself out. But I do like the way Sue is playing. I like the way that she's a little vindictive in the fact that, hey, a vote was cast against her. I just like her character. She stands up, but she's competitive. I don't understand the underestimation of Sue not being competitive because she's competitive. So I like her character and her fire, but I'm gonna go with Avery. She's a little older, just a little bit.
Yeah, and if I ever were to go on Survivor, you best believe that in that type of challenge, I will be diving. There will be no just jumping right off. I am going headfirst to the water because it
See,
is Survivor. Like,
I
what else
like,
can you do?
okay, listen.
Wait, Avery,
They
can
had
you
to
swim?
push me off the diving boards when I was a kid. So if I was on this show, I would just run and then just keep. I wouldn't
Just
even
run
try to go
straight
for a
up.
dive. I would just be like
So
straight
we
into
just
it. Because if I stop at all, even to dive, I would look down and I'd be like,
no,
no.
we're not gonna be looking be like everybody knows it's water and it's gonna be water challenges. I need everybody to get ready. Get ready so you can jump in. If you dive in, you cover more land. I mean, you cover
Yeah,
more water, and that's less you got to swim in.
that's
But the
fair.
ocean
It's
ain't look.
strategic.
The
It's
ocean is not
strategic,
no joke.
but it's also fun, right? We have a ton of comments here. Let's get to Minnows. I think it's somewhere in between revolutionary, iconic, and worst team ever. That's a great take. I love it. Amy, enjoying it, but as an old school fan, I'm embracing the new era little by little. We'll definitely be talking about the podcast we did earlier today with Coach and the Token Chains revisit. Blood in Your Hair. There we go. Thank you, Minnows. Georgette with the Breadwinner Alliance. That is the name of the God and Girls trio. Excited to see that come to fruition. And then the new era finding its groove. Yeah, potentially. We get the last sneak peek as well. And this is on Lavo, and Rome is just, if Rome wasn't already on the highest stool he could possibly be on, he takes another step on the step stool and says, I own that vote. I own this tribe. My game is going perfectly right now. Solace next to go. What do you all think of that? Do you think that's really going to happen?
I think that he doesn't know like how annoyed people are getting with him yet. Like I feel like he's like not processed that. I don't know if he's just being a little clueless about it and just like not realizing, but they're kind of all being like, damn, like he's kind of like going a little crazy. And I don't think that's a good spot for him. I do think like I'm loving it. Trust me, I'm loving the crazy. I just think that right now he's in kind of a bad spot because I feel like he keeps doing things that like tick people off, and I feel like he's kind of doing it on purpose. But I feel like you don't want to like I don't know. I feel like it's not the best time for that right now.
I feel a
little
blind
bit
side coming in
early.
the future. A blind side is coming. Here's the thing about it is Rome is a factor now because one, he has a little group of folks that, hey, we can all work together. And Rome has started to get the steal a vote. He just played the idol. So he's a force to be reckoned with. And those are the best ones to do a blind side on. Because Teeny gonna have to blind side. They're gonna have to coordinate, they're gonna blindside him out. One, because you become an irritate. And here's the funny part about Survivor. Everybody looks at the show and be like, I'm not gonna be that person. And as soon as you get out there, guess who you are? That person. And it's just they be like, hey, no, I'm not gonna say anything. You can't help yourself because who you really are is who you really are. And I think they're gonna blindside him when he least expect it. I don't think Roman's gonna make it to the merger. I think they're gonna get him out before the merger.
I would have
Okay,
to agree with that.
I would.
A hot take, maybe a crackpot theory.
Yeah, man, I like
Stock
Rome.
loss thing.
Rome is a cool guy. Rome is just as excited in person as he is on the show. So if you think you're going to get something different when you meet him in person, no, it's wrong. But he's a cool guy. I just think that in the game of Survivor, with everything else that you have to deal with, I think that Rome is going to get blindsided. I'm going to say he's going to get blindsided at the merge. He's going to be that merge blindside.
Mm.
Avery, what do you think? Do you think he's going to go right around then, earlier, later?
I think that if they go to tribal council, they're going to blindside him. I literally don't think I would see anyone else from Lavo just because like everyone is on the same page in the fact that they are getting a little ticked off with him. And I think that's like a spot to where it literally could just be everyone being like, all right, like let's just like get rid of him and then we can just go back to our own whatever alliances we have. Because at this point it's a bit much. So I definitely don't think he's gonna make it to the merge as long as they go to tribal council. I think he's going home.
Fair enough. I personally think that he's going to make it a little bit farther than the merge. I think he's going to make it final 10 or final 9. In a little bit of we're gonna pull from Stockwatch here. I have to. I'm sorry, I've been saying it too much. A crackpot theory. I had to play the graphic. I mean, like it's custom Stockwatch invading the pre-show. I have to play the graphic. All right, we're gonna go through some of the wiki polls. We posted them. I want to say less than an hour ago or so. So really fresh, really new thoughts. What happens to Sue? She dug through red paint, or she has had an accident. Why was one of the options a bear attack? Are there bears in Abraham? Are there bears in Fiji?
No, that's not bear. No. I don't even know who put that down there. Who put bear attacks?
That was probably Randy. No one knows.
He could have said got cut
would have been
a
a little better.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a better answer, but
last answer is possible.
Last one, Kyle's gone mad. Maybe he's losing his mind. Yeah, potentially, but pretty obvious that a lot of people think that Sue is going to find something this episode, and it could be the new idol. Does she tell Gabe? Probably tells Caroline, but does she tell Caroline? What do you guys think Sue is going to do with what we're assuming is this next Beware advantage?
I Honestly, okay, my like insane prediction last week was that Sue blindsided Gabe because he played the idol on himself. So I'm just gonna keep a little bit of that and say that I don't think she's gonna tell Gabe. Just because
Mm.
he was like, I have an idol, I'm gonna play it for you, I'm gonna protect you. His name did not get written down once, and he played it on himself. And I think that might have ticked her off a bit. It would tick me off. I would have been like, really, dude, like what was the point of that? Like you just flushed your own idol for no reason. Like you could have at least played it on me.
Right.
So I don't think she's gonna tell him, but I definitely think she's gonna tell Caroline. For sure.
I think Kyle still got Sue's attention. So I
You think
don't
so?
think that, yeah, because she wants to vote him out because he cast the one vote against her
Yeah.
in the vote. I think that here's the problem with Survivor sometimes. You get so transfixed on one person, you forget about your entire game.
Mm.
And if he's coming in and say, hey, I'm willing to work for you, I was on the wrong side of that vote, you kind of get it with a leeriness, but at the end of the day, you still need that extra vote. And he's looking at it like, okay, I cast a vote, I know what's coming, but also he's willing to work with her. Because I thought it was kind of funny where she said, hey, I don't even want to talk about strategy right now. I want to get a good vibe going into the challenge. I'm like, oh, when does that happen? You talk strategy all the time. I mean, your good vibes ain't got to do with our strategy. So it's gonna be kind of interesting how they manage each other in this. But she might have got hurt. But here's the thing about it is there was a lot of red stuff.
Mm.
The
They're not gonna let
lot.
you. They're not gonna let you bleed to death while they film the show. So I'm not really sure what that is.
Are
But
we about to see our first death in Survivor history?
Imagine.
That'd be landmark television, probably.
Survivor
Uh,
on TV. What happened to
yeah.
Survivor? We had to take it out the show. They let somebody die. Who knows? That's a bad season.
If they let somebody die, it might be the worst season of all time. Probably will be the worst season of all time. I think Sue may not tell anybody about
Mm.
this thing that she finds. I think that it's going to be very suspicious, just like Gabe with his idol hunting in episode 1. I think it's going to be very suspicious that she's looking around, that there's red paint literally all over the ground. But a part of me thinks that Sue may just keep that thing to herself based on Gabe's antics. Maybe she probably tells Caroline, but I'm gonna go with maybe she doesn't because she has seen how telling people about advantages could hurt them. Next question. Which tribe is going to tribal council? We have Lavo at 67%, Tuku at 0, so clearly no one thinks that they're going to tribal, and Gata at 33. What are our thoughts on that? Do you think that Lavo is going to tribal again? And if so, is Rome going to go? Or is it going to be Saul? Or who knows? What do y'all think?
I don't think that it's gonna be Lavo. I don't know. I just like feel I don't know. I just don't think that it's gonna be lava. Like there's no way for me to explain it. I just don't. I definitely think it's gonna be Tuku or Gata. But like if it is Lavo, he's 100% going home. If it's Gata, I think it's gonna be Annika. I think they're gonna blindside her. Um, but if it's Tuku, I have no idea. I have not a clue.
Like
Probably Kyle, but like maybe not. Maybe he'll convince her that Gabe really is not for everyone. But I don't
I
know.
like the way they hype it up the week before, so we can all guess and figure out what's going on. I think
Mhm.
Lavos got hyped up. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna have some. They're gonna have some problems, but I think we're gonna see them either come together. I don't think they're gonna tribal council. Because here you only got to be one or two. As long as you're not number three, you're good to go. So as long as you're one or two, and it's a good thing to see. Like, do you really want to be instigating a disagreement with someone on Survivor? Because
Mhm.
Rome said something. I'm like, that's not true. But okay, we'll see how that plays out for you. You can do and be around each other, but you don't have to be in my space. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. So, which is a great segue into waiting this episode to see what really happens. But I think it's going to be either one of the other two end up sending somebody home. But hey,
Yeah.
Genevieve, I like to give credit to when
Mhm.
she set out the challenge. She at least looked for the possibility of something there.
That's
True.
true.
Very
Everybody
true.
else, they kind of just sit there and watch and be like, "What you looking for?" Nah, she
Like
was looking.
Michaela.
Yeah, I mean, she was like, "I know it's something here. I'm gonna find it."
Two comments here I want to point out. Jay, I think we got a lot of setup last episode for Tuku or Gata Tribal. Definitely, we got a lot of content setting up. Maybe Kyle going home, Annika going home. We got a lot of stuff to set it up, and so it'd be interesting to see how that actually played out with Tribal. And then Rome, it's going to be crazy. So it's going to be a wild time.
Why is Rome in the chat? Rome, what's up, Rome? Rome in the chat.
He's always in the chat.
It's probably going to be a little crazy according to Rome. So I'll trust your word for it. Will Tribal be a huge blindside? I mean, there you go. Will 67% say yeah, 33% say no. Is this going to be, talk about it all the time, is it going to be one of the hallmark new era blindside episodes tonight? Is it tonight?
I hope so. I just want my prediction to be right. I want Kyle. I love Kyle. I want him to convince Sue that Gabe is not good for her. And I want them to blindside him. Like, I really hope that happens. I know it's insane. I just feel like it would be like an iconic moment, especially for Sue. It would be huge for her with her gameplay if she makes it to the end. I think that's going to be a really good point to bring up if she does it. So I don't know. I just hope she convinces him, because her being like, I voted out Kyle, isn't going to be like, okay, like he wrote your name down. That's not like a crazy move, which is why I hope that it's Gabe, and I hope Tuku goes, because I think it would be crazy. So I'm going to stick with it. Even though
Big blindside on Gabe tonight. Avery's lockdown prediction.
I hope somebody finds something new to the game. I want to see what they've added or changed or upgraded. And what are we waiting to see? I want to see something exciting where they just bring something else new in and be like, oh man, they're really doing some work in production now. Just adding something at just the right time. Because we already got the Steeler vote. We can't add that back to it. You've already got the dimensions of how you had to get the your idols. So it's like, okay, what are we gonna add now? How are you gonna make this even more spicier after those two objects are out there? So I'm interested to see what's going to be new tonight. What's going to be the challenge for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Roman's going home tonight.
Don't think. All right. Well, Avery gave her prediction that Gabe is going to go home in a pretty big blindside. What do you think, Abraham? Who do you think's going home tonight?
Preferably somebody that's not on my choice list of winning this season. No, I like them all. Let's go with Rachel. Let's go with Rachel.
You think? Okay. Interesting perspective.
We got to put somebody out there. I'm gonna put Rachel out there. Survivor is dicey. You just never know who's who. When by the time they go from the start of the show to the tribal, and then I call him Messy Jeff. Messy Jeff be asking messy questions, and people start telling on themselves. Like, what's my man name? He was like, yeah, there's a group of 4.
Yeah, there's Keyshawn last
time. Keyshawn, what we talking about? We delirious? You never dime out your own alliance. Well, it's 4 of us here. Well, it's only 5 of y'all, so somebody's out. So who's out? So that kind of tells you what's going to happen in that particular tribal council. So, and Keyshawn he just learned how to swim. So I'm gonna say he was a little waterlogged from the challenge.
Okay, well there we go. So Avery thinks it's going to be Gabe with blindside. Abraham thinks it's going to be Rachel with a blindside. I think Rachel going would be a blindside. I am going to go with the basic answer, and I'm going to directly contrast both of you, and I'm going to say Saul's going to go home on Lavo. No big reason behind that. I just think it's going to be, I'm just playing contrarian, playing devil's advocate, because I really think it could be anywhere up in the air. I mean, like, the clear targets, besides Rome, and like a little bit of Kyle, it's kind of up in the air right now. It's kind of like waiting to see how Tribal sticks the landing, like especially with Gata. Like, I think that's the most pertinent tribe in terms of that. It's like, how are these alliances going to stack? Has Andy actually done the right amount of work to get Sam and Sierra on his side, or are the girls and Sam sticking together, just getting rid of Andy 4-1? And it's the same in a sense with Lavo and Tuku. I mean, Lavo, like, Rome survived, but he had an item. And so now without that, and with just steal a vote, will he stay? Does he have enough to stay in the game?
The question is, Saul threw the vote on Rome. So it's gonna be interesting
Yeah.
to see who voted those extra votes that really was kind of a toss-up vote. One was on
Yeah.
Genevieve. Who threw the vote on Genevieve?
I think that was Asia. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull.
Oh
up
yeah,
the
it was
number.
Asia. Asia threw it on Genevieve. Saul threw it on Rome.
Mm.
And we missing a vote. Who threw that extra vote out there? Because there's only one
Heaney
vote.
voted for Saul, which I
Oh,
think
okay.
is going to be interesting to see.
I
Well,
just don't think Saul would go.
Yeah, I think Saul is aware of the game because when Rome
Yeah.
came up to him trying to present something fishy to him, he was like, "Hey, wait a minute, are you just coming up to me to try to, tell me or throw me off the scent on something?" So I think Saul is more in tune with the game than
Mhm.
if I had to put him and Rome against each other. I'll say I think Saul's in a better position. So we're gonna see. And also from the vote, it definitely looked like he was in a better position because he only got one vote.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, he only got one vote, and he voted in the majority. He voted with Keyshawn and Genevieve to get rid of Asia, which I thought was a weird distribution of votes, but that's that's how it rolls sometimes in Survivor. Sincere, I agree. Abraham, Annika is such a red herring. Too obvious. Rachel could be next. Yup, definitely. Georgette thinks it's Saul. Let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. And Roham says, just wondering, when was the last vote that was not a blind side in the new era? I don't know.
No. Last season was a season of blindsides. Everybody got blindsided because if you don't remember, they all took an idol home. At least this season, we got some idols played. Even though the way they were set up, they were set up to be played.
Yeah.
It almost said, "Look, I got to play this idol. The first tribal we go to, we didn't get any fireworks from playing the idol. Nobody got any fireworks. Rome wouldn't have got voted out if he didn't play the idol at all. So, but last season, they was blindsiding them left and right.
I'm interested to see what Sam does with his idol. I'm very excited to see what Sam
It is
does
only
with
good
his
for
idol.
one round.
Wait a minute. I thought somebody did it for two. I thought it was.
Yeah, so Sam has the idol for one round. And if they go to tribal, that's the only time you can play it. Same with Rome. Gabe got his idol extended until the final 5. It became a full idol. And instead of saving it, he played it right away and wasted it maybe on himself. I wasted it is like if he maybe did, maybe it didn't, maybe it was some kind of strategy there, maybe not, maybe just wanting to get the idol out there. But yeah, so
there was no reason for that one.
There, as far as we know, maybe we figure out the reason tonight that he really decided to play it. Maybe we'll see. Episode 4. I hope so too. Episode 4, is that blood in your hair? Live discussion thread. We're gonna have the after show after. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna see red paint all over Fiji. Both in terms of the red paint that's going to be spilled when Sue's looking for the advantage and the blood that's going to be spilled when blind sides are going to run amok tonight. I cooked that line up in my head. I feel so awesome. All right. We're going to take a break really quick. We actually have a pretty decently long ad this time, about 2 minutes. We just got to deal with House of Villains Season 2. You may have seen it on our Instagram. We got a bunch of reels promoting that show. That literally starts tonight at 10 p.m. EST. So while the after show is going on, maybe in another tab, have House of Villains up, watch Richard Hatch, Wes Bergman, Victoria from The Bachelor. It is going to be absolutely legendary. And let's go ahead and play the clip.
Really in the middle of making a hit TV show.
Last season, 10 of reality television's greatest villains came together under one roof and made television history. So obviously, we had to do it again.
You might know me from The Rehearsals in New Jersey,
Bad Girls Club,
Big Brother,
original Survivor winner, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Same house.
Welcome to the murder house.
Same awful host. Oh, hi! And brand new iconic villains.
Welcome to House of Villains Season 2. Oh my God!
Ding dong, the bitch is back, and I'm gonna run this mother.
Holy crap, I would watch this show.
We're losing our freaking mind.
You have an evil laugh.
I'm a villain, bitch.
Oh, damn, we're all typecast. There is no such thing as the House of Heroes. That's lame.
You were gonna come into the House of Villains? This is my mother house.
They think I'm delicate like a little flower, but no, bitch, I'm a bomb.
Look Look at the money we're spending on these explosions.
What's your name?
You don't know who I am? This is my classroom, so you better follow my rules. Or else.
Y'all disgust me. I don't give about any of you.
I'm gonna ride you until you tell me the truth.
Ride me then.
Your Prince Albert couldn't take it, but I'm still gonna give it a try.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but
Once again, they're here to outsmart,
I have a little cock in here.
outmanipulate,
Now I know why they got rid of you season 1.
and out-camera time each other.
Welcome to New York!
New Jersey!
Kiss my ass!
Poke the bear. You're not gonna like who you see.
Whoever is able to make it to the end will win $200,000 and the title of America's greatest supervillain.
I am the supervillain!
I am a certified genius that you let into this house. When you take a shot at the king, you better not miss.
We need a medic!
Don't you understand? I am the villain!
he hasn't been the mastermind. Back now!
I'm so scared. Oh. Yo, that's my
House of Villains, the total hit show returns October 9th on E! And stream from the beginning on Peacock.
This should be House of Cuckoo Beans, not House of Villains.
I see Richard Hatch hadn't changed.
Not one bit. That show, I think that's going to be a really interesting group of people all together. Definitely go watch that after the after show, right after this episode of Survivor. Yo, we've been hampering down too much on who we think is going home tonight. We were like, this person's going home. This person's playing bad. Who do we think's doing well? Who do we think's going to make it to the end? Any early winner predictions? Like episode 4, do we think anyone's really going to maybe hit the beginning of their stride tonight? What do y'all think?
Well, my winner pick is Tiana. I honestly, I don't know how I'm feeling about it, just because I feel like she hasn't done a lot. Like, I'm hoping she does more, but she kind of is in a position to where I feel like no one's looking at her as a threat at all. So she is in a good position, but it's just the fact of, is she going to make game-changing moves to be able to make it to the end and get that $1 million? I don't know. But I'm hoping she does. But I do think that she is in a really good position right now, just because no one's looking at her. No one's been talking about her. She's kind of just there. And I don't think that's like a bad thing, but I also feel like I wish she was making more like big moves, obviously, because she's my winner pick.
Yeah, she did. She did vote out TK, so that's one big move on her belt.
That is a big
Yeah,
move.
that's true. That's true.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say before the merge, because everything could be going your way before the merge, and then after the merge, you crash and burn. I just want to see some good gameplay. So I'm gonna say right now, minus the edits, everybody's kind of got a good gameplay. Because if you look at Andy, he has a good gameplay. He realizes that, hey, I need to kind of mend the fences with some folks. Sam's got a good gameplay. Tiana, she has a good gameplay. You know, we're looking at stuff that we just saw. We seen, okay, how can they make the maneuvers to get to the merge? Now, once you get past the merge, it's a whole different ball game. So who we might pick now might be like, but I think everybody's playing a game. Even the people that's gotten voted out, we've seen some good vote outs. I thought that Asia was gonna step back and hit somebody with that torch. So she was kind of upset about that vote out. You know, so you can't hide betrayal in that moment. And I think that it was great to see. I know you don't want it to happen, but it was great to see. So I'm gonna wonder how they're gonna look at the other two that didn't vote for her. Because only 3 people voted for her. So it's like, okay, well, you didn't vote for her. Who'd you vote for? So it's going to be kind of interesting to see. I like the way Saul is playing, you know, so I like the chaos of Rome right now. But can you make it to the merge is going to be the question for any of them.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a challenge. I mean, right now, like it's super unclear. I mean, we're definitely early into the game. We have a couple viewer takes here. Randy, who unfortunately couldn't make the pre-show. Genevieve is still my winner pick. Same here. I saw that she had a confessional in one of like the sneak peeks or promos, so I'm excited for that. Excited that she's actually getting some screen time. Thank God. But you know, hope she can. Andy is starting to get a low-key winner edit, according to Jay. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that this week at Stockwatch if he doesn't go home. Sam was Ali's winner pick, but my heart is
Mm.
still with Keyshawn. That's interesting. Okay. Keyshawn's been doing pretty well recently, getting up more and more and more. So maybe we'll see with that. And Avery, you got a fellow believer out there. Sincere believes that Tiana is also going to win. It is truly, truly, truly wide open. And I think the last kind of big question I want to ask before we kind of start wrapping it up here is, what do we think so far? Is this season's first couple episodes top tier, better than previous seasons? How does it rank in the new era? What does everyone think?
I don't know that it is the best. Personally, I loved last season being full of blindsides. I think it is pretty good in the new era, I will say, because it has been really insane. Like, there's been a lot of drama and I've been loving it. I don't think that it's the best, but I do think that there is definitely the chance that it can get up there just because everything has been so insane. I mean, last week was a little more mellow, but I'm hoping that the crazy is just continuing it throughout this whole season because I will be loving it.
I mean, I'm look, the era. I'm from the first of the new era, and I'm like, anything that they do different is better for me. I'm like, I'm loving the fact that they are just being very creative, making changes. Even down to the seahorse puzzle last episode, just giving us something different
Mhm.
and not trying to stick to the old pattern or building off what didn't work last season or what didn't work the previous 6 episodes, rephrase, 6 seasons. So I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that people come out there and play. I'm loving the fact that people that podcast on this, when they go out there and see what it really feels like to play on the episode. Because there was a scene with Jeff doing the challenge where he says, "Does it feel like it looks when you're looking at it at home on TV?" And they were like, "No,
Mhm.
it's nothing like that." And that's what you're really looking for. If he didn't present that question, we never would have got that part of it. So I think there's all kind of little nuggets in the new era that's coming out where interactions or whatever. So I'm loving it. I just didn't see Jeff go off and travel one good solid time. One good solid.
Yeah.
I'd be very highly interested in seeing a moment like that. Yeah, I mean, we've had some top tier moments already. I mean, we've had the Rome's antics. We've had Andy the first episode. Like, lest we forget about that absolutely insane moment at the challenge. We've had Sue kind of dominating on Tuku a little bit, kind of running the good graces of that tribe. Yeah, I mean, tonight's episode, we're starting like very briefly, right, starting to set up what is going to happen at the beginning of the merge of this game. Tribes are going to come together. We talked about this a little bit on Stockwatch, but there are not a lot of concrete. Like, remember in 45, it was the Reba 4, and that was a really tight 4 alliance. Like, we don't have really big alliances like that. We have a lot of trios and we have a lot of duos. So maybe this season, do you guys think we're maybe going to see a lot of hopping trios, a lot of vote chaos? One person from one tribe goes, next episode another person from a tribe goes. Like, what do you think is going to be built up tonight that could mean that later in the season?
I'm hoping that once they get to the merge, these I don't think that Annika and her girl trio on the tribe is going to. I definitely think one of them's going home. But if for some reason they do, I just hope that these trios are smart enough to align with other trios, other duos, because I'm hoping that it's not a lot of hopping around. I hope that we do get one solid alliance from this season. But I don't know. It's very questionable. I mean, with the journeys, people can talk to each other, but I definitely think it's gonna be just very iffy. I think it's gonna depend on who gets voted out before the merge to see if these alliances are still together to even go with other alliances, or even just if people separate from alliances, whatever. I'm excited to see it, but right now it's just very questionable in my mind.
I like the duos. I think if you have a duo and you got 5 left, you got a swing voter in there somewhere. Somebody that can push the
Yeah.
game to another direction versus having 3 and you can just kind of pick people off. If you only have 2, I kind of like that dynamics better than trio. So it's gonna be interesting to see how a soul gets to merge. Can he jump with another group and make it to merge? who Kyle is going to connect with. Even though Sue doesn't believe in worth the ground he's walking on right now, it's going to be kind of funny to see how he kind of fits in and makes that move to get to merge. Because everybody's going to look up and say, okay, we almost had merge. Everybody that's playing a new era Survivor knows when merge is coming. And you're just you're trying not to be that merge boot. You know, you don't want to get all the way to the end and like Seafood merge boot. And we like, oh, he was right there on the cusp and you got voted out. So you got to be conscious of what I need to do to kind of tread lightly, but make moves. Because really, once you get to the merge, that's when you got to start playing the game to another level of Survivor, because now it's the jury.
Yeah, definitely. All right, last question before we get into our little wrap-up sesh here. Dream interaction. Two people on this season, maybe on the same tribe, maybe not. Dream interaction, like, for example, Kenzie and Venus in the early parts of 46. Like, what's your dream interaction that you could have right now that you would be like, this is must-see TV?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think I would love to see. Oh, wait, no, that's really hard.
Look.
I would say Gabe and Rome because they're both crazy, but I feel like there could be crazier than that. Like, I feel like somebody being really. I feel like somebody with Andy would just be funny, like just being like, "I can't believe you're here."
Yeah,
Like if he gets to the merge, I just know there's gonna be an interaction where somebody's like, "How are you here?"
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Sam and Tiana. I think if they were able to get together, that would be a force to be reckoned
That
with.
would be good.
I think they know we got to win and we got to dispatch a couple of people, but we're gonna bring at least one person with us. I think that would be a good duel after the merge.
Okay, I like it.
I don't know about that. I agree with you. The Andy thing, they could be like, "How'd you get here? How'd you make it?"
Especially after he called out John in that first challenge and he went on the next episode or the first episode. My pick is going to be Rome and Annika. I think they bring a lot of chaos in their own respective ways, and it's going to be very interesting to see them try and maybe one up each other in terms of like how good they think they are. So I personally am hopeful we get to see that. All right, here we go. We got our little wrap up here. We got a couple minutes before we end it here, and then a little bit before the episode starts. We got the after show right after the show. It is going to be electrifying. It's going to be the greatest recap in Survivor Now podcast history. You don't want to miss it. 9:00 tomorrow night. We got Survivor Social. Kara and Tegwith going over the social game, figuring out what's going on, social butterflies, all that good stuff. At noon, Friday, it's me and Will doing the stocks back in my hometown, figuring out who's going to be the winner of the show based on the stats, the edgic, and all of that good stuff. And then on Saturday at 3, we got something for you, Matt, Phil, Ollie, and then Josh Wilder is coming on the show. And so that is going to be really exciting. We're very lucky and very happy to have him on the show. If you did not get on our Patreon to watch the Token Machines revisit with Coach Wade, we streamed that earlier today. It was one of the better conversations I've had in the past couple months. It was really insightful, really, really good points from Coach. And that Patreon, there is a 7-day free trial. Like, if you want to just get in there, watch the Coach interview, maybe watch a couple others, and then do whatever you want to do. Get that free trial. Just go ahead and get in there if you're really interested. But it was a phenomenal discussion. And then we also filmed a revisit as part of the podcasters talking about our overall thoughts on the season. And we teased something that I'm going to bring to y'all now because we didn't really talk about it much in the text chat. January, for Survivor Now podcast, we are going to be doing an absolute marathon ranking every single season of Survivor. And the key with that ranking is that we all have to agree.
Oh.
Gonna be interesting.
That is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen.
Okay.
let's be realistic. It's like voting. I don't think that's gonna happen, right? So go ahead.
If we can get that and we can actually pull it off in not
Is
like
it new?
a
Hold up.
month
Is it new
time-
era or the old? Is it which one? How we doing it?
Oh
All
no,
of them?
it's all 47.
Oh.
That's not gonna happen.
We are gonna be podcasting a lot in early January.
Got no faith in none of y'all on that one. That's gonna be wild. Because we got different likes for different reasons. Like we are a tribe. We are a tribe looking at Survivor, thinking about no, not that episode. That person
And
didn't do anything.
that's the best part. We all have to agree. We all have a say, but that doesn't mean we all have our individual vote. We all got to be.
That's like
one
saying
vote.
is Survivor the first episode, first season, not the best of all because it created all this. So we're just kicking Richard Hatch in that was a whole different dynamics.
It's going to be great. All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching the Survivor 47 pre-show for episode 4. This episode is going to be the best one yet. I just know it. I know it. I've seen the episode before. I saw it on Thursday morning last week. I guarantee it's going to be the best episode of the season so far. We are very excited to do the after show right after. Make sure you tune into that. And as always, we will see you later. Goodbye, everybody.